Welcome to this tool review. Today we have the 6-inch metal caliper from Princess Auto. It's the Powerfist brand. Here is a picture of it in its original packaging. In December of 2012, this tool costs $6.50 Canadian before taxes. I'll be using this caliper to take, transfer, and visualize rough measurements. So let's get into the review. I was surprised by the nice heft that this caliper has. For some reason I thought the black parts were plastic, but fortunately they aren't. The sliding action on the tool is pretty smooth, and luckily this caliper has depth measurement too. Some cheap calipers don't have this. The scale on the caliper is nice and legible and includes a scale for both imperial and metric. Unfortunately, that's where the good things stop on this tool. Let's start with the minor problems and work up from there. The silver scale is stuck onto the tool, so there's a risk that it can start to peel and fall off. Next is the fit and finish on the jaws. When it's closed, it doesn't quite line up and it leaves gaps. There's some play in the tool, but fortunately it's not in the direction of measurement. When it comes to the depth measurement though, there is play, and that's mainly because of the way that this tool is assembled. Now for the top 3 cons. First, this locking knob is a lie. It isn't actually a lock, it's just made to look as one. It has no use for the user. Next is the confusing way to read the tool as it deviates from traditional verniers. The edge of this block gives you your gross measurement. Then you have to match up the grooves with the lines to get your fine measurement with a resolution of 0.1 millimeters. So for example, if you were to read this value, you'd line up the edge and it's around 25 millimeters. Then you count the lines 1, 2, 3, 4. So it lines up around at 4, so that's a total of 25.4 millimeters, around 1 inch. This could have been okay if it weren't for the final con, which is just how difficult this thing is to read. I will fix this by creating contrast on this block by sanding away the paint on the surface and then leaving paint in the grooves. Disassembly of the caliper is pretty easy. All you do is unscrew this knob, push down on the threaded pin, and this thing is going to come apart now, and the whole thing just falls apart like so. Now we're going to sand this sucker down. I don't have sanding paper, so I'm going to use a sanding wheel from my orbital sander. So let's see. I've started to sand down this block to create contrast between the block and the notches. As you can see, it is working. I'm just having a hard time getting into the corners. And there you have it. The bottom block is much easier to read than the top block after sanding it down. Reassembly of the tool is quite a bit more difficult than disassembly because you have to keep everything together by hand until the end. First, take the lower jaw and flip it so it's face down. Now take the thumb wheel mounting bracket and the wheel and mate them. The thumb wheel is at the bottom of the tool, so this goes right here. Now you can take the body of the tool and the depth measurement peg, put the peg through the bottom lid and slide it all the way through. Take the body of the tool and put it in position on the jaw. The thumb wheel and the body make contact, so you have to bend back on this wheel so that it snaps in place. We're almost done. Take the spring-loaded clip and put it in position. This notch faces backward. You can take the threaded pin and just put it in a little ways. You can take the depth measurement peg and slide it into place until it's in the middle of the spring-loaded blade. Now we press down on the spring-loaded blade and slide the threaded pin through the whole assembly. And the final step is just to put back the knob. Here's the sanded down bottom jaw assembled onto the tool. It is definitely easier to read this way. So to conclude, this tool was incredibly cheap, so realistically it can't be great. It is, however, fit for the purpose that I bought it for. With minor modifications, this tool will be much more user-friendly. My recommendation would be buy only if 0.1mm or greater resolution is what you need, and if you're willing to sand down a brand new tool. If you liked this video, please subscribe, leave a comment or leave a like.